Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to our channel, Two Gringos on the Gulf. My name is Darryle, here in Quintana Roo, Mexico, Puerto Morelos. So sorry about the late start, but my friend messaged me at 7:30 our time and asked me to go give his wife a hand to haul some more stuff over to their new rental that they're staying at. And yeah, I went over there and she was gone already. So I didn't see his message, and I waited for Jennifer to get off work so we could both go over there. And when I got over there, she had already been gone. So they just moved down the road because the place that they're living in has accumulated a lot of mold apparently. So their landlord put them up in a Airbnb just down the road in Selva 2 actually. It's the same compound, but the next one over, same gated community. I should stop calling it a compound. Sounds like we're in prison. The compound, we're not in prison, honestly. It's resort living, actually. That's how they advertise it, is resort living. Hey, welcome, Keith. Long time. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So I helped him move this morning. He had reached out to me before he went to work, Fernando, and went over and helped him move a bunch of stuff over. And then shoveling snow. Happy days. Yeah, I don't miss that. You must have a snow blower. You don't have a very big driveway to shovel. We had a big driveway back home, so we bought a snow blower that you could put like 4 cars in our driveway easy, and it was like at a slope downhill. So yeah, easy 5 cars probably in our driveway right up to the garage, because the garage was at the back of the house. We had a long property. So yeah, you could put easily 4 cars in there. Easily. So yeah, we bought a snowblower. They had them on sale at Crappy Tire the one year, so we bought one. Well, it was like $800 or whatever, so it was a good deal though at the time. So yeah, I've heard, and it's been brutally cold. Oh, trust me, I'm seeing it all over social media. My brother lives out by Dap. I got another brother in Red Deer, and my other brother, he lives out by Westlock, just north of Westlock, not far from Fawcett. So yeah, I don't know. Do they? I never really returned anything from there. The snowblower I bought was pretty good. We gave it to Jen's niece, and then they gave it, or I think they bought it. Yeah, they bought it, or we gave it to him. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But he ended up giving it away, the husband. So he gave it to my brother-in-law, to Jen's sister. So her mom. They gave it to her mom and dad. so, so he had a big area to shovel. So they didn't have much of an area to shovel. So I don't even really know why they wanted it. They had a little, 2-car driveway. That was it. And they had a garage. So they had a little 2-car driveway. It was a pretty big snowblower for just a 2-car driveway, and a little tiny sidewalk. So, and Trevor out in Mornville, Jen's sister lives in Mornville. So they're getting the same snow that you got. You call Canadian Tire by a different country name, like American Tire, Brazilian Tire, German Tire, something like that. Moronville, yeah. Moronville. Yeah, well, that's where I worked for a lot of years, right? I was driving back and forth to Morinville because I worked for Sturgeon County, and we lived in the Lake District in Edmonton and Lago Lindo. So the very north end, right off of 97. Nice area, actually. Really nice neighborhood. Really nice. Very mature neighborhood. Really nice. I liked it there. It was a great place. It was a great neighborhood. They had 3 lakes, and there was good walking paths, good walking trails all through the lakes. It was nice, really nice. Hey, Magic Crate, welcome, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, sorry about the late start anyway. So I was helping my buddy there and helped him this morning, and I tried to go help his wife, but we were late getting over there. So I don't know. He was at work, so maybe he was a little late getting, like, maybe she messaged him, and then 10, 15 minutes later he messaged me, and I didn't see his message until a few minutes after, and then I waited for Jennifer to get off work, and she was almost done anyway. So yeah, Magic Crate, he's in California. He's living the California dream, man. He's up there with the Beach Boys. No snow up there, not where he is anyway. Yeah. I heard they're not doing a very good job of the snow removal all throughout Canada. I'm hearing a lot of complaints about the snow removal, which is not surprising. It's not surprising knowing the agenda of the Canadian government right now. So it's not surprising that they're not clearing snow. No surprise at all. But we won't get into the politics. So say no more. You know where I'm coming from. San Diego. All right. Yeah, I never went to San Diego. Never been there. Oh yeah, Dad, just reading your comments there. Plus, I can put your comments up on the screen here. I kind of I don't know why I stopped doing that. Okay, we'll quickly go through the comments here. We'll get them up on the screen here. So it says sound is good. That's great. We'll quickly go through the comments. Keith, welcome. Shoveling snow. Because these don't show up in the live stream right away. So we'll drop them on the screen real quickly here. And people that log on after, they can get a good chuckle of Keith talking about the ton of snow in Edmonton. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't. I don't miss it. I'll tell you that. I really don't. I don't miss it at all. Yeah, I thought Crappy Tire had good return policy. I don't know. I don't remember though. Well, if you don't have much of a driveway, then you don't need a snowblower, right? Like if I had a small driveway before we moved, when me and Jennifer lived in the mobile home just off of Winterburn. She had a mobile home in Winterburn when I first met her, and we moved in together. We lived out there. I loved it out there. It was nice. It was a nice area too. I did prefer the Lake District though, but the location of the Winterburn was nice. And but yeah, there was no need for a snowblower. Like I could shovel a small area, right? But when you're talking a driveway that's slope downhill, that holds 5 cars, yeah, no thanks. No. And we were both making good money at the time. I got a good job, right? Like I was making good coin. Jen was making good coin, so we could afford it, right? So might as well splurge, buy a snowblower. We could afford it at the time. So both had good jobs bringing in that Alberta bucks. So yeah, buenas noches, buenas noches. Yeah, I'll just quickly go through the comments. Sorry about that, man. I'm just flipping, man. Getting old. Getting old sucks, man. Back to San Diego. Yeah, I never been to California. Jennifer's been there. I've only been to, well, I've been all over the states, a lot of states, but never to California. Was never on that side of the U.S. So just so you're aware that Magic Crate, he's on the same, like I met Magic Crate in person. He was in Progresso with his wife, and we hung out. We met at a party with a mutual friend, Eddie Allen. So we're all on the same page as far as we're all on that same wavelength. Just so you're aware. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you guys come down, man. That'd be great sometime, A sweater and a jacket. Yeah, you can. It's one thing about California. You go up in the mountains and you can have the cooler weather, right? And then go down to the beach and, down to sea level and you got nice warm weather, head up to the hills. Yeah, I imagine California is pretty pricey. I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine. Well, we all know Canada is, that's for sure. We all know Canada is. So I never really got a chance to hang around with Magic Crate too much, but because he went back to the U.S. So, but we did meet up and we hung around a little bit, a few times. So I know we're on the same page about a lot of things, and we have the same beliefs and values, and yeah. So he was in Merida. Met him too, Eddie Allen, and I haven't talked to him in a while. Actually, he's here somewhere. He's over in Campeche right now. I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah. Yeah, it's expensive everywhere. I posted my Vancouver's one of the most expensive parts of Canada. Vancouver is crazy. I posted my budget video on some Facebook page or whatever, and somebody said, "Yeah, Mexico is not cheap like it used to be 10 years ago." Well, imagine how it was 20 years ago, but no place is anymore. 10, 20 years ago it was cheaper in Canada too, right? And 10, 20 years ago it was cheaper in California. Ever since, well, even before COVID, but when COVID hit, they really jacked up big time worldwide. Right after COVID, they jacked up everything massively all over the world. But before then, I mean, we had inflation everywhere, like there's been inflation everywhere. And Mexico is no different. Mexico is not immune to inflation. I mean, you guys see our budget videos. I mean, sure, you can live cheaper here. Absolutely. We're spending, you could live cheaper than us, and we could live cheaper yet too. This budget was pretty good, actually. We had a really good budget this month. We didn't, we had no Amazon purchases. We had no extras. Like Jen flew through the budget pretty quickly. And it was pretty basic, right? Other than dining out, if we curbed our dining out, it could even be lower yet, right? But you got to live, right? We're here to live life, and we spend money. It costs money to live, right? So, and we like to do things, right? So, I mean, we also have a car, so that also adds to it as well, And then the YouTube channel definitely adds to the budget as well. We're maybe going places and eating out more and going more places because we want to make videos for you guys, right? So, sometimes we do intentionally just go somewhere so we can make a video, right? So that's costing us money, right? So the YouTube is it's never mind just the music programs, the video editing programs, the cameras, the microphones, and all the accessories that go with running a YouTube channel. Then you also got, when you're doing a travel channel like us, you got, then you're going out. Even if it's something as simple as going to a restaurant, it's still going out and spending money, right? That you might not go and spend, right? You could stay at home for 3-4 weeks and not dine out, right? And eat at home, which we do a lot. We do eat at home. Hey, bro, thanks for hopping on. My brother is on from Red Deer. Say, that's my brother, Lynn. Got the same haircut as me. Now, Lynn's up in Red Deer there, slaving away. So he's schlepping in that cold there too, Keith. So don't feel so bad. You're not the only one that's suffering in the cold weather. Twins, yeah. Well, he's the baby of the family. But me and him are the babies, I guess. But he's the baby. I got my older brother, Everett, and then my sister, Donna, and then me, and then Lynn, he's the baby. It was his birthday on January the 1st, so My oldest brother was born on Christmas Day. So my oldest brother's birthday is my oldest brother's birthday is December 25th, and Lynn's birthday is January 1st. So they both loved their birthday when they were little kids because it was like, happy birthday, Merry Christmas for both of them. And when it comes time to Lynn's birthday, well, we spent all the money for Christmas. So here's your $5 model. Because we blew the budget on Christmas gifts for everybody else. Yeah. So yeah, you're not the only one up there schlepping away in that cold weather. And I'll tell you, I really don't miss it, man. Not at all. If I never see snow again, I'll be totally happy. Totally happy. Yeah, with the small profile picture, yeah, we could look like twins for sure. Yeah, with that small little circle there. There, I think I just got you. Yeah, so that's why I started the live stream late. I don't know, maybe we should do it at 9. I don't know. What do you guys think? 9 o'clock better? I mean, I could do it at 9 versus 8. There is a 3 hours difference, but whatever. No matter. +8. Oh yeah, well the roads would be really sloppy then, right? Going from freezing temperatures with a pile of snow to +8. Crazy weather. Crazy weather. Wow. That's a good old but you know, we say that, oh, that's the Alberta weather, but a lot of places say that. Just wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. So the weather is so unpredictable worldwide. Yeah, you know what? I don't mind, I shouldn't say that. I don't mind snow once in a while for a few minutes. Let me get above the writing there. Still growing my handlebar mustache, dreaming about my motorcycle. So my e-bike is my motorcycle now. I got to get out on it tomorrow. Didn't get out on it today or anything. I was busy. Oh, we had our aqua aerobics, whatever. Big crowd today. Wow, we had a big crowd today. Really big. It was fun. Let me bring up I got a picture here. I'm going to bring it up for you. I'll show you. Do something, show you my aqua picture here. I just got to download it from FaceCrack. That's what I call it, FaceCrack now. To me, that's what it is. It's like crack. Not that I know what crack's like. I'm just guessing that it's probably addictive. So yeah, I think this was the biggest group we've ever had. Like no joke, seriously. I think it was. I really do. Let's see if I can do this here. Image file. Downloads. No, it didn't download. Where the heck did it go? Oh, it went to the desktop. That's what it did. Yeah, it went to the desktop. I got so many pictures on there. There it is. It's a screenshot. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, wrong one. It's hard to see, man. It's hard to see. It's just a little picture. It's just a tiny little picture. Let's try this again. Should be the last one. Oh, here it is here. There we go. That's the one. So that's it. That's you can see me there. Got my hands up. Look at me. Look at me. So pretty big crowd. That's us in the morning. Our Aqua Fitness. You see little Jennifer's way over there. You see her little head sticking up. And that's our wonderful instructor, Lynn. They're from Canada, her and her husband. Great people, amazing people. Totally love them. Wayne and Lynn, if you guys watch the live stream, shout out to Wayne and Lynn. I know Wayne watches some videos, so he comments quite often. So They moved here around the same time as us, a little bit after us. They've been here almost 4 years or somewhere around there. So around the same time, but they bought here in Selva. Super great people. Wayne is like the handyman around the community, fixes stuff, and he's everybody's friend. Super friendly guy. Super nice, friendly guy. So that's and this is a big crowd. Normally it's not this big, but there's usually 12. Like it's high season right now, so there was a lot of us in there today. It was a lot of fun. So last night we were out, and I was talking to my friend Fernando, and I says, well, let's get together and we'll have a beer, right? So he's like, well, I'm off tomorrow. So that was after I was helping him. And I said, well, we've been meaning to get together to have a beer. So he said he was off. So I said, well, I'm going to go down to the pool and have a beer. He's like, oh, actually, I got called into work. I'm like, oh, crap. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go down to the pool. And it was 7:00 at night. And I hadn't had a beer in a while. I had some beer in the fridge. So I went down to the pool. And I just sat there, and they got a clubhouse right outside. It's nice out, right? So I'm in there in my shorts, and I brought my cooler bag. I got a cooler bag. I brought a frozen bottle of ice there. Brought that over, and I had 5 beer left out of my 6-pack because I'm such a big drinker. I had 1 beer out of my 6-pack there. Been in my fridge for a month. So anyway, and then people showed up. Another friend of mine, American guy, he showed up. Well, Jen was talking to him on the phone, his wife, and I said, well, I'm going down to the pool if you want to come down and have a beer. So he come down, and then some Canadians come down. Keith, he come down. The Keith that I thought was the Keith here. He came down, him and his wife, and we hung out. And so there was all of a sudden there was a party. There was a group of us. And then Wayne and Lynn, they were drinking over at someone else's house just down the road, sitting outside drinking. So they stopped by when they were going to get whatever they were doing. They walked by, and another Canadian guy walked by reeking of weed. Of course, he's totally reminded me of my brother-in-law, Bobby. Really, really reminded me of Bobby, just the way he was talking, and he was half in the bag for sure. And he was talking, and I'm deaf, so I get up, and I couldn't hear what he was saying. And he said something about the Northwest Territories, so I got up and talked to him so I could hear what he was saying. And there was a group of people. We were sitting around there. Anyway, I get up beside him, and I'm like, oh, you smell like weed, man. He's like, right from Canada, he says. Yeah, you're a true Canadian boy, no doubt. Yeah, out of everybody here, you're the only one that smells like marijuana. So anyway, bullshit with them for a while, and then when we were walking back, Wayne and Lynn went back over. Lynn went back to the other party first. They're just a group of them sitting around, 5, 6 people or whatever. And then Wayne says, "Well, I'm going to go back. When you leave, stop in and say hi. And introduce you to the lady that just come. She's a snowbird." Like, okay, so we'll stop in there. So we just stopped in briefly for a few minutes, and said hi and bullshitted for a bit and cracked a few jokes or whatever, and then headed on home. So Jen had to work in the morning, so yeah, I had 3 beer last night, and I gave my friend Tony, American guy. Me and Tony sat there for probably an hour, and we're shooting the shit before Keith and Sherry came. So Keith and Sherry came probably about an hour later, and then that's when Lynn and Wayne walked by, and then another guy there was another guy that come too after, another guy from Ontario. Lots of Canadians here. So another guy came. I can't remember his name though. So they all left anyway, and this other guy came from Ontario, and he was talking about he drove from Ontario a couple of times now, drove up here from Ontario. And I said, well, I have a friend that drives from Ontario as well, but she's a single lady, drives by herself. He was talking about driving with his wife, and he was telling some pretty funny stories. I can't remember what they were. It was pretty comical anyway. So he shot the shit for a little while. So and then we all just kind of parted ways. I was back home by 10:30. So it's the first time I've really gone out and I guess one time we did go out, they had a party down there. So it was like a clubhouse party, but this was just kind of a casual thing. So people were just hanging out, drinking on a Tuesday, Tuesday evening. So, yeah, sitting by the pool drinking. So that was kind of nice. It was great, and it was a good night. So I'm a cheap drunk. I mean, I had 3 beer, and I'm like got a buzz. Don't take much for me. So yeah, let's go back to the comments here. I got off track. Got off topic there. So where were we here? So did we read this one? Oh yeah, the road's already crap. Yeah. Biker gangster, yeah. Oh, it's my handlebar mustache. I was getting tired of the that goatee. So I've had that goatee forever. So and it's I think it's kind of a stigma thing for old white people to have a goatee. So I'm like, yeah, time to ditch the goatee for a while. So yeah, that's I've called it face crack for a long time. For a long time. I say it again, not that I know what crack is or not that I've ever done crack, but I can imagine it's addicting. Uh-huh. ABBA. Oh yeah, good old ABBA. Right on. Hey, I love ABBA, man. I love ABBA. Good tunes, good tunes. But that's another thing. I'm so like I want to hear some Mexican music. Some even if I don't understand, I just like the beat of the Mexican music, and I'll listen to the old stuff too. But I mean, I really like the Mexican music. So I've heard all those old songs, those old rock and roll, American rock and roll songs so many times. There's nothing wrong with them. Like they're good, but you just, I hear something new. That's what Lynn plays for our aqua aerobics. There is all old funky rock and roll music, which is all right. Whatever. It goes with the atmosphere. It's a lot of blue hairs, and I can't say I'm a blue hair because I don't have blue hair yet. But yeah, I'm not in my 60s yet, man. I got another well, not much over a year to go. I'll be 59 in June 2nd, so it's creeping up on me. So just about a year and a half to go before I'm 60. So how time flies, no doubt. So yeah, so that's what else was going on. That's really about it. Um, well, the mold, we talk about that for a bit. Like that's pretty serious thing here. Like it's very common in a lot of homes in Mexico from the humidity, right? So you got to leave your windows open. Even if it's hot, you got to put it on. Put your AC on dry. The main thing is get that airflow when it's have fans going. You get a dehumidifier too, which really helps. A great deal. But you can put it in room after room after room. But the really the best way is just have airflow. Get some fans, have your windows open, get air movement. If you're going to have clothes that are sitting for any length of time, put them in an airtight bag, like shrink wrap in an airtight sealed bag. That's what we started doing because we learned that really quick the first year here because we had, not winter clothes, but parkas and stuff, right? So, like, not, I shouldn't say parkas, but like hoodies, warmer clothes, right? Jeans and stuff. We had them packed away in the Yucatan because we weren't wearing them, but we knew that we were going to need them eventually. So yeah, they started getting mildew on it. One day Jen went through and like, holy crap, all the clothes are getting mildew on it. So we cleaned them all up and got them all fresh again, and then yeah, then we shrink wrapped everything. Oh, I lost my camera there. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It's the ghost, man. Yeah. So yeah, the just the windows. That's the biggest thing you can do. And yeah, dehumidifier. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's even worse here. But yeah, Vancouver, anywhere you're by the ocean, you're gonna have humidity, right? But it's even worse here with the heat, right? All year long, right? It's brutal. So the Yucatan was bad. Jalapa was bad. You get the mold will grow even on concrete here. You can get special paint even right now to stop the mold. You know, you want to invest some money. If you have your own home, you know, do some research on it, get special paint, use special primer. You know, there's a primer you can get that will stop mold, and then a paint that's not supposed to mold, you know, stuff like that. Keep your windows open, have a dehumidifier, you know, just take all the precautions that you possibly can to keep that mold out of your house, because it's very common here. I see it lots of comments on Facebook about that. You know, oh, I got mold, you know. And we learned the first year here, you know, we learned the hard way. Nobody told us, we learned. So, you know, no one said, "Oh, watch for you do this, do this, do this." We never had a clue. But you know what? When we first moved here, we would walk around on the beach roads, and I would look at these buildings with nobody living in them, and all the windows were wide open, like no screen, like just windows open. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Like birds and bugs and everything's going to get into the house, right? You know, animals, cats, whatever, right? But that's why, because of the mold. So you don't want to leave your home sealed up. So if it's a, you know, a vacation property, right? That's what they do. They leave the windows wide open just to keep the airflow. But these places, like a lot of them had no screens even in the window, right? So you'd see upstairs in the second, third story, you know, the windows are open, the curtains are flapping in the wind. And I always often wondered, like when we first moved here, I wondered why. Why do they got their windows? Oh, that's kind of odd, right? You know, like I said, the bugs and everything else, especially with no screen, right? But yeah, that's exactly why. It's to keep the mold away, right? So that's why they're doing that. So, and then like I said, I never saw any YouTuber. Maybe they were talking about it 4 years ago or whatever, but anybody that I watched, I never seen anybody talking about that. So if they did, I missed it. So I didn't follow a lot of channels like Tangerine Travels. I followed, and Kiru Paul and Country Collectors, you know, and that Josue guy. I didn't really start watching the Josue Integra or whatever his name is there in Merida till after, though, the Cuban fella there. But yeah, I never really heard anybody talk too much about the mold. So we didn't know anything about it. You know, we learned the hard way. So it wasn't that bad, though. Like I said, we caught it right away, you know, like it wasn't, you know, rampant. But I have been in homes in Veracruz. We were in a home that had mold on the walls and that, and we told the landlord about it, and you know, so just if you're moving here, man, and Airbnbs, it's you know, just got to be cautious for it. It's and it looks different too. Like my friend's place here, it was like just gray. Like it wasn't like your black mold or really dark, you know, like it wasn't growing mold, right? It just turned the white paint kind of a grayish color, but it was a big blotch all across the ceiling, like a big blotch. It almost looked like a checkerboard kind of. And then in the bedroom, it was along the edge of the room. It was all up in the ceiling. They're in an apartment over there. We're in a house, right? So they're in an apartment, condo, whatever, apartment. I call it an apartment. So same diff. So I thought, well, maybe it's something upstairs, but they said no, no, it's not. So I don't know. But luckily that their landlord had a place for them to go just down the road, not very far, right? So thank God for that. So just him and his wife, and they're a young couple, and their little boy, kind of like George and Jessica, really, our friends in the Yucatan, very similar. Young couple, He's working at the resort though. He works at the one of the resorts here. You know, they both speak English. She speaks even better English than he does, but they both speak pretty good English. And a very nice couple, young boy, like I say, very similar to George and Jessica. Kind of funny how that worked, but they were our neighbors when we first moved in here at the when we stayed at the Airbnb. They lived right beside us, so that's how I met them. And he was going out one day, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to the grocery store. You guys need anything?" I was like, "No, we're good, thanks." So nice of you to offer. So super nice guy. So happy to help them out anyway. Nathan met him, my friend Nathan, because he was staying at the resort that where he works, the El Cid, and then we gave him a boost one day. We were driving, and his battery died in his car. So, well, we actually didn't give him a boost. We helped him. Another guy was there. We gave him cables. We gave him the booster cables. So he had no cables. So there was another guy pulled up there, and I don't know if his cables were broken or whatever it was, or he thought he had cables and then he didn't. But anyway, I had booster cables, so we give him our cables, and then Nathan helped hook it up and got them going and got them on the road. And then he gave Nathan a ride one day. He was coming back from work and picked Nathan and his boy up there walking, walking into town, and Fernando picked him up and give him a ride. So that was kind of cool. So I actually got his number from Nathan because we had already moved and I never did get his phone number. I could just walk over there. It's not very far, but Nathan had his number. I was like, "Oh, well, give me his number if you got it already." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So, and I've been meaning to get together with him since we've moved here, but still, it really hasn't happened other than helping him move there. So maybe we'll get together tomorrow. I said I'd come over there and check out the pool. Where they moved into is really nice. It's got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The one is an ensuite from the master bedroom. The master bedroom's got a king size bed, big 50-inch flat screen TV on the wall, nice sectional couch, granite countertop, big horseshoe shaped kitchen, nice counters. The only thing I don't like about it is the induction cooktop. I don't like those induction cooktops, even the electric ones. I don't like them. Just give me gas or traditional stove, but not those electric ones, the induction ones. I don't like those flat ones with that are digital readout or whatever, and then yeah, I don't like those. They're crap. They take forever to heat up, and it's hard to regulate them. And the induction ones, they need those special pots, and yeah, they're a pain in the ass. I really don't like them at all. I really hate them. I've had them a few times in a few rentals that we've had, and I've never been a fan. I've never had one that I've liked. They're all shit. I'd rather have a gas stove. Most places have gas stoves, but a lot of places don't even have ovens. Like he's got no oven, and the place that he was in's got no oven. And we've rented a lot of places that don't have an oven as well. So, but this place has an oven. The place in Oaxaca had an oven. Huachuco, we had an oven. So, it's actually the last few places, but we have rented places that don't have an oven. You'll find the newer builds here that have those. They like those induction stoves. I don't know why. If they're cheap, they don't take up no space, and they're easy to haul. Because it's just the plate, right? So Pyrex plate or whatever they use, like so. Yeah, the newer builds here, they like to put them in there. They like them. I don't like them. So, and then like I said, then you got no oven. But we hardly use our oven. Like I said, we use that toaster oven, right? It's just me and Jen, so we have no use to fire up an oven. And they're so hot. And a gas oven, I mean, it only cooks from the bottom, right? So, they're not that efficient, really. You know, unless you got a convection oven, then that's a little bit different, right? A gas convection oven. with the burners on the top as well. But most gas ovens are just flame at the bottom and that's it, right? So yeah, we got this place here has got a small stove, 4 burner. It's like an apartment style size stove. Small oven, small stove. I mean, it's fine for Jennifer and I. It's totally sufficient. But the one that we had in Oaxaca was a 6-burner one. I really like that. I like the 6-burner stovetop though. It's nice when you're cooking. You just got more room on the stove. Even if you're only doing 4 pots, it's still, there's 3 pots in a frying pan, right? The 6-burner stove is nice. Really nice. It reminds me of my cooking days when I was a chef in the restaurant, 6, 8 burners, right? Going, just so much nicer to cook with when you got all that room on the stove like that. Especially when you throw a frying pan on there, So you got your potatoes, rice going, you got your vegetables in the back, and then you throw a frying pan on there. It's like, and then you got a big frying pan. We do have an electric frying pan now, so I like that. Been using that quite a bit. So we bake in that oven, but a lot of stuff we do fry, like steaks and stuff. But I use that. We have the convection toaster oven, so it's a toaster oven, but it's also / a convection oven. It's got the fan in it as well, so it's both. So you can adjust it on the dialer to put it on strictly convection. So I don't use that feature too much. Jennifer does quite a bit actually, more than me. The convection part, I usually just put it on, the oven. So, but then I will turn on the top heat. So if I want to crisp up the chicken, right at the end, the last 5 minutes, right, I'll put it on broil to crisp up the chicken skin. I got some nice crispy chicken skin. Can't go wrong with crispy chicken skin. So yeah. Well, I hope everybody had a good New Year's and good Christmas, and you made some New Year's resolutions. I hope you're sticking to them. I've been doing pretty good so far. I haven't strayed off of my diet too terribly much, other than 3 beer yesterday, or the day before, whatever it was, yesterday, I guess. Other than that, I've been doing pretty good. No junk food. That's the main thing. I don't really care about, if I have 2 meals or whatever. Like tonight, today was an egg day for me, so I had my eggs, and then I had some popcorn. Jen did make a brownie today, so that was homemade though. So I don't know what she put in it. She's been making a healthy desserts lately, so I had a bit of that. But as far as buying junk food like chips or anything like that, I haven't bought anything. Nothing. Not even a Coke. No Coke. No chips. No chocolate bars. No nothing. We'd buy a Snickers bar sometimes, like grocery shopping. They put the chocolate bars right at the counter, so you're like, oh, here, let me grab a Snickers bar and throw it up on the counter and run that through with my my fruits and vegetables for the ride home or when I get home. Here, though, a lot of the chocolate is just little. Like they'll have small chocolate bars. It's not like the jumbo ones that you get back home in Canada or the double one. You can get those ones, but they're few and far between. Usually they're just little. Like everything is small, like about half the size almost of what you would buy back home in Canada, the chocolate bars. Everything is smaller. Even your when you're grocery shopping, unless you go to like a Costco or Sam's Club, a lot of the products like ketchup and stuff like that is in smaller containers. Everything is small. Everything is smaller, almost, pretty much everything. You'll notice that if you come here and live here and you're shopping, you'll see everything comes small. Like I said, unless you're going to go to Sam's Club or Walmart or Costco, then you can buy the jumbo stuff. But yeah, if you go to the local grocery store, the Mexican chain grocery store, yeah, a lot of this stuff is going to be small, 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 small. So I thought that was one of the things too that I noticed right away when we moved here was how everything was smaller. It was hard to find. Like you used to buy the big jumbo. Back home you'd buy the big jumbo ketchup or jumbo whatever, right? Large size, right? Because you think, oh, I'm getting a deal. Because mentally you automatically think, oh, it's large, buy the large one, and I'm going to be getting a better deal. I'm going to get more bang for my buck, right? Which is not always true, you know. So, but here, a lot of stuff is small, so kind of weird anyway, different. Not that it's bad, just different, right? So, and I say we don't go to Costco or anything like that. So, there's not even any of those stores here. I'm trying to think. There's not even a fast food. There's nothing here. Nothing. It's a lot like well, even Oaxaca City, there was nothing really. You know, in Oaxaca, period. There's a Walmart there, I think. Yeah, there's a Walmart. But as far as fast food, like I think there might have been a Dairy Queen, but there's nothing. There's no Dairy Queen here. There's no Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza is very common. Dairy Queen is very common. You'll see those all over. Even in the smaller towns, you can see, Dairy Queen and that. But there's none of that here. They don't. There's no fast food places anywhere here. I don't think there's anything. Nothing. Say Dairy Queen and Domino's are the two most popular that you'll see. And Subway too is pretty popular here too. You'll see that in smaller towns as well. But here, nothing. And even in, like I said, in Oaxaca, you didn't see it. I think there's Dairy Queen in Oaxaca City, but I don't know where it is. KFC, there's KFC there too, but not a lot. Like there's like one, in the whole city, and same with Dairy Queen. There's like one, or two, you know. It's not on every corner a fast food place, right? And here there's nothing. There's nothing. You go to Cancun, you're gonna have all that, right? Cancun's got all that. Playa del Carmen's got it all. Playa del Carmen's got all that. Here you don't see nothing. They do have a chicken place here though, just down the road. We went and had dinner with our pastor and his wife there a while ago, about a few months ago, whatever, month ago or so. Right after we started going to church, Jen reached out to them and they invited us over for dinner. But anyway, he went and got chicken. He's like, "Oh, we're from the south, so we like fried chicken." And they've got that southern drawl. They're really cool, really nice people. But anyway, the chicken that he bought was really, really good, man. Like better than KFC. I've yet to go there and get some for myself. I want to do that. I know where it is now. It's just down the road. It's not far. It's on the way to our butcher actually. It's just a little hole in the wall. It says pollo, like it says chicken. And I've drove by and I've seen it open, but it's just a small business, so it's easy to miss. So anyway, I got to get over there and check that out. So unlucky fried kitten, yeah. Yeah, I've always, yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, we've always. I think all the Canadians call it KFC. Did you know? Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah, in the USA, you can get. They have KFC in the USA, all you can eat. When we did our road trip to the USA, we were stopped as I love KFC. I do. I love KFC. Not so much anymore. I think they've changed it. It's not the same anymore. Like the gravy is definitely not the same as what I remember as a kid. But I grew up, we didn't have a lot of fast food places where I grew up. Like we had KFC, and that was one of them. There was no McDonald's when I was growing up. We had no Dairy Queen, but we had an A&W and we had a KFC. So I remember those growing up as a child, in the 70s. And I love KFC. Love KFC. And even to this day, I still like KFC. But like I said, anyway, it's not the same. But in the USA, you can get all you can eat KFC, and I didn't know that. And we stopped at this KFC, and then they're like, "Oh, it's all you can eat today." I don't know if it's a one-time thing or just a state we were in or what. I can't remember where it was, but it was somewhere in the US. We were driving on a road trip, and we always got takeout because we had Cece with us. So we would get takeout. Jen would go in and get it, and then I would wait in the car with Cece, and yeah, and then we'd just eat in the car, and then we'd go right or go park at a park somewhere or whatever. And usually that's what we did. We'd go park somewhere nice, try to, and then go and eat, at a nice place other than sitting in a parking lot. But anyway, she come on. She's like, they have all you can eat KFC. Who the hell needs all you can eat KFC? Nobody needs that. All you can eat KFC. Oh my God. I'd probably come out of there with a bellyache because I ate so much because I love KFC. So I don't know if that's a thing all over the USA or if it's just a state we were in, but I've never seen, they don't have that in Canada. There's no such thing. All you can eat KFC. There's no such thing. Not that I've ever seen. Maybe in the East Coast, I don't know, but I've never seen it in anywhere that I've ever been. In Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, British Columbia, I've never seen all you can eat KFC. Oh my God. I go back to the comments here. Well, it used to be, I think they've changed it though, right? Like it used to be good. And I think it's gone downhill a lot in the last even 5 years. I don't think it's the same as what it used to be. Not at all. I do prefer the KFC here versus at home in Canada. I find here it's not as greasy. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think the same as you, Magic Crate. I think it has gone downhill. It's just not the same as what it used to be. Yeah. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of fast food, but I mean I do. I mean, I like KFC. I'll go to Dairy Queen. I mean, I eat out of fast food. I've gone to McDonald's. I'm not really a fan of McDonald's, but I've gone there. I've had, quarter pounder. If I go to McDonald's, quarter pounder with cheese. I mean, I've eaten that crap. Jen used to love McDonald's when she was a kid, right? It's just what you grew up with, right? I didn't grow up with McDonald's, so we had, like I said, we had A&W, you know. So yeah, if you can, that's the way to go. Organic chicken for sure. You know. Yeah, I'm not. I don't eat it very often. I'm not. I'm not big on it. Either. Even when back home in Canada, I never ate it very often. It was a treat. You know. Sometimes it's a convenience thing, right? You're in a hurry, so if you go to Dairy Queen or Subway, whatever, it's going to be fast, right? It's not like going in and sitting in a restaurant. So you're in a hurry, right? So I've had jobs like that where you got to eat and go, right? So it's a convenience thing sometimes when I've had fast food, it's been more just about convenience because I know it's going to be fast. I can go into A&W or I can't think of other. I'm stuck on A&W and Dairy Queen. I don't know why, but any fast food place, it's fast, so it's a convenience thing, right? But yeah, I'm not big on fast food either. Never was my whole life. I worked in a restaurant all my life, so I'm not big on restaurant food. Period. I couldn't wait to go home and have a home cooked meal. Yeah, so I'm really not big on fast food either. So that's why I'm glad that there is none here. You know. We'd have Domino's pizza, Boston pizza. I like Boston pizza. I think Boston pizza is pretty damn good. Even to this day, I think Boston pizza is great. I love Boston pizza. You know, there's a Boston pizza in Merida, believe it or not. And I talked about that before. If you weren't on the other channel a million episodes ago, talked about Boston pizza. in Merida, and it's lined up. They're lined up out the door to go there. No joke. I'm no BS. They're lined up. KFC too. You go to KFC here, that's the biggest line is KFC. Any American chain restaurant has the biggest line here in any food court. You go to the food court and they'll have tacos and whatever, but the one that's the busiest is the American chains. Always. Always. I've talked about that before too, because just like us, the Mexicans want to eat something different. They don't want to eat tacos. They've eaten tacos their whole life. They want to eat an Arby's burger. They want to eat KFC. You know, they want to eat Dairy Queen. They want to eat Domino's because they want something different, right? Not all the time, but I swear those places are the busiest. They are. Not a joke. That's been my experience everywhere I've gone. Those places are the busiest. In a food court or wherever they are. Like I said, I've seen them lined up to go into Boston Pizza, KFC. Yeah. I was surprised, to be honest with you, to see that. So, but yeah, I'm not big on fast food either, man. More of a convenience thing. I'd rather go out and have some tacos, right? So Friday's videos, the birria video. So it's we're gonna go take the bikes. We hop on the bikes. We go down. We have some birria. That's where we saw the monkeys with Nathan, but there was no monkeys there today, or when we did the video. So I got some shorts on the monkeys, but yeah, there's monkeys that live right there up in the tree, not far, and they came down. We were there. Well, me and Jen went to shoot the video, and they didn't come down. Murphy's Law, of course. So that's the video for Friday. Is the birria video for Friday. Dining out, getting some birria. So, and then we ride to the square, and then we ride home. But I don't show all that. We just go basically ride, get the birria, and then we go into town, and then that's it. The video ends. So that's Friday's video, and then I think we're gonna jump. So we're all caught up now. So I think we're gonna jump now to the Cosmel video. So then we'll start on the Cosmel videos. So that'll be on Monday. We'll start with the Cosmel videos on Monday. You know. Yeah, that's a good idea. But I wasn't doing that though, the fasting thing. So, you know, I wasn't as smart as you, man. I didn't have your brain power. Yeah. I was eating fast food, and I wasn't worried about keeping my bathing suit body. Yeah, Domino's pizza is definitely not the best. Yeah, it definitely is not the best. Yeah, it's like toppings on top of cardboard. Yeah, yeah, it's not the best. Definitely, there is a wood. They do the wood fire pizza here. There's a place I want to try that. So yeah, I wasn't worried about my bikini body, so I wasn't fasting or doing any of that stuff back in Canada. I didn't care, you know. And I was in my 40s. I wasn't in my 50s yet, so I wasn't really that health conscious. You know, well, I was kind of, but not overly. Like I was thinking about it, but I wasn't doing anything about it, right? You know. So I was still just living life, right? You know, doing all my bad habits that a lot of people do, like eating junk food and Cheetos and drinking Coke and Pepsi and Snickers bars and potato chips and, you know, smoking cigarettes, smoking reefers, and, you know. So that's why I say I'm trying to repair 58 years of bad decisions, man. Like, no joke. I'm not joking. I am trying to repair 58 years, almost 59 years of bad decisions. You get where I'm coming from? I wished where were you, Keith, when I needed you back then with the fasting and no junk food? And Christ, where the hell were you? Could have been helping a brother out, man. I got on my trapping videos and said, "Holy God, are you ever a fat?" I was freaking 200 pounds at one time, man. Back home in Canada, I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd never be that heavy in my whole life. When I was younger, I'd be like, I'm not gonna be fat like that. No way. I was always slim my whole life, right till I was 40. 140, 50 pounds my whole life. 140 most of my life. Never dreamed I'd be 200 pounds. My God. Terrible. That's what happens when you get old. And you got bad habits. Old and bad habits, For me, mostly though, it was just lack of doing anything, lack of exercise. That was the biggest thing, right? It wasn't so much my eating habits, it was a lack of exercise, lack of movement. That was the biggest thing. When I was a chef on my feet for 8-9 hours a day, I wasn't working out, but I was just on my feet moving for 8-9 hours a day, walking on my feet. I could eat anything, and I did. I ate lots of junk food, drank lots of pop, chocolate bars, chips. Never gained a pound because I was wearing it off, and I was in my 30s, 40s too, right? So, I was on my feet. And then you go from being on your feet all day to on your ass all day. Big difference. Big difference. And that's what I did. From on my feet all day for 8 hours to on my ass all day for 8 hours at 40, at a bad age. So yeah. And then everything just went downhill or ballooned, whichever way you want to look at it. I look at pictures when we were in Mexico years ago, me and Jennifer. I get memories on my Facebook, and we were smokers back then. And I was like, my face was fat. Now I look slim. My face looks slim. Even my face was fat. And then I just looked at a picture the other day, and a memory, and it was over 10 years, I think. 10, 12 years ago. And Jennifer was even smoking. So I know it was an old picture then, because she quit smoking over 5 years, 5 years before I did. So at least. So yeah, I was quite heavy when I was back in Canada driving truck. So before we moved here. So yeah, I really didn't get into the health kick until we moved to Mexico. I mean, I was starting to, like, cause I quit smoking before I moved here. I was just getting into that transition. And then when COVID hit, we were exercising. But that was just before we moved here, right? So I was just starting to transition into that healthier lifestyle in 2020. So 2020, say, I started to transition into that healthier lifestyle because we were working out. We turned the TV off, and we were eating healthier, not so much junk food. I say eating healthier, but I just mean no junk food. We weren't dining out. We weren't going to eating fast food. We always cooked at home, always. Back home, we hardly ever ate out at all, ever. We eat out now more than ever, but we don't go to fast food places. We go to restaurants and, eating tacos and shit like that, right? But back home, we hardly ever ate out. Hardly ever. I'd grab the odd, bacon and egger, from McDonald's once in a while for the boys, and, stop at McDonald's, get a sausage and egger once in a while, the odd time, maybe once a month type thing. We hardly ate out at home at all. Hardly ever back in Canada. What I mean is no pop, no bags of chips, no chocolate bars. Because that's what I was notorious for growing up. That's what I ate, a lot of junk food growing up. I had a sweet tooth, and I grew up eating all that crap, right? So that was my bad habits. My bad habits weren't going to frickin' McDonald's or Dairy Queen or Domino's. No, my bad habits were buying a bag of chips, buying Cheetos when Cheetos were available, and buying chocolate bars, Kit Kats, and chocolate, right? And soda, drinking Coke, Pepsi. I drank Pepsi back then. But yeah, that was my bad habit, right? And then smoking, and then I used to smoke marijuana, so that was around 20. Well, it was right after COVID. Shortly after COVID, we started exercising and cut out the junk food. And then when we moved to Mexico, I really escalated the healthy lifestyle. It escalated even more. I was active all the time. Didn't have to worry about winter, so you're outside all the time. And I've had guys tell me that I lost weight moving to Mexico within 6 months, and I did absolutely nothing. It didn't change anything other than being a little bit more active. That's it. And they lost weight just from being a little bit more active. And that's what it is, just being active more than anything. They said they didn't change any of their eating habits, and they lost weight in 6 months to a year or whatever, right after moving here. I did the extreme though. When I moved here, I went balls to the wall. I was at the gym every day, riding bike, jogging, and I was the gym every day. I was super active, cut out everything, nothing, no junk food, no pop, no anything for 6 months. And I dropped over 30 pounds in 6 months. But I went hardcore though. I went hardcore. Like I said, for 6 months, I went hardcore. And then we moved to the beach and it all went out the window. I fell off the wagon, but still I kept it off though, because I stayed active, right? So like I said, I was pleasantly surprised when we were in Cozumel. I weighed myself and I weighed 165. So I could drop another 5-10 pounds for sure. I got a little bit of a belly yet, but I'm happy with 165 for sure. Better than 200, better than 175. Ideally for my height, I should be around 160, 155, I think, for my build. I'm not a big guy. I'm small, like a small stature. I'm small framed. I'm not big boned or anything like that. I'm not 6 feet tall. I'm like 5'9" on a good day. I used to be 5'9". Maybe I'm 5'8" now anyway, but I was 5'9". So I'm not a big person. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I have rambled for over an hour. So like always, thanks for hopping on, everybody. We'll quickly go through Keith's comments here. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, absolutely. Lifestyle. That's a big thing. Lifestyle. What are you doing in your life, right? No, and you blame old age because you're old. So, and if you're not gonna, I guess you can't really, I don't know. Yeah. If you stay active your whole life, then yeah, you can still be old, but you can be active. You just have to maintain that, activeness. Age is definitely not, it shouldn't be your crutch. It really shouldn't be, but absolutely not. So, yeah, lifestyle, man, that's the biggest thing. No fast food. Oh, we're gonna be gone anyway. So you get back, check the replay. Yeah, everyone, keep the healthy lifestyle going, man. I want you guys all to live a long time. Come down to Mexico and we're gonna grab a taco and have a beer together. So you can at least have a beer. I don't know. So you come to Mexico, look us up. So God bless everybody out there. Peace on earth. And as always, be kind to one another. Be sure to give the video a like, comment, share. Share our videos with your family and friends. You know what? We're trying to make some money off of Google here. So we want some of that Google money. So I don't want your money, but I want Google's money. So the biggest thing you can do to help us out is share our videos with your family and friends. And if you can't watch the whole video, just leave it on play and turn the volume down if you don't want to hear me ramble. But just leave it play in the background while you're knitting or crocheting or cooking, whatever. Let it play in the background. It really helps us out with the watch hours and gives us some YouTube money, Google money. So, and sharing our videos is a huge thing on your social media platforms. If you could share our videos, because maybe you might not know, but maybe your friends or family are like, hey, who are these gringos that the my friend Keith is sharing on his Facebook page, or you know, and maybe they'll click on our video and watch it and be like, hey, these guys are pretty cool, or hey, these guys are idiots, get them the heck out of here. But either way, you'd be doing us a great favor. So adios. God bless everybody out there. Peace on earth. And again, as always, be kind to one another. Ciao. Catch you on the next one. See you Sunday, guys. Have a good week and enjoy your weekend. New video drops Friday, couple of days. See you later.